Paul Klee is perhaps the most imaginative of the surrealists. He shuns formal association with groups and believed in the collective unconscious based on the use of certain symbols in unrelated primitive art. Basically, he believes that there's this sort of unconscious connection amongst all of humanity, which is why we see certain symbols being used amongst almost every group. For example, a spiral is frequently used, or a snake eating its tail, meaning some form of immortality or constant cycle. And he looks at this, he sees this idea of the collective unconscious, and he's going to try and tap into it, believing that he's tapping into this primitive aspect of what it is to be human, something that maybe industrialization and modern society has eliminated from our collective memories. And doing so, he's going to try and accomplish these things through a number of pieces, including his piece, Twittering Machine. Now, the scene itself is presented in a simplified, childlike manner and has nothing to do with Twitter, even though that is the obvious pun that I have to make. The crank-driven mechanism adds an air of whimsy. We're not really sure what it is. And obviously, mechanically, it's not something that could actually work or do much, but we do get tied into it, don't we? We all want to kind of turn that crank and see what's going to happen, what's going to go wrong, or maybe it does work, and maybe it just pops out 140 characters at a time. Okay, I'll stop with the Twitter stuff. This is an intentionally ambiguous and understated piece in an attempt to draw the viewer in and force them into their own interpretation. Why? Because he's trying to get at the viewer's mind. He's trying to get access to it and get a two-way conversation going between the viewer's hopefully subconscious or unconscious mind and his work. The idea being that maybe he pulls out some element of that collective unconscious that we were unaware of and somehow enlightens us and assists us in understanding what it is to be human and understanding the human condition.